Okay, running, and here I am. Microphone's drooping, and then we got this up here.
It's just too much.
Holy moly! What happened to the time? What were y'all doing talking to me and keeping me busy?
I was talking to Marty,
Well, how did I get involved?
but I got my stuff done.
We were talking law enforcement.
Oh,
Yes, we went into that. Yes,
oh,
yes.
that thing. Okay.
Those last 5 minutes, they go by so fast.
The day of the camel. Wednesdays are hump days, as we know. Welcome to midweek and welcome to Live and Local Real Talk, the show that resembles journalism in the most minimal way possible. We talk about news, of course, and generally provide running commentary, much of it satirical, just to get your motors running in the morning. Along those lines, we encourage, that means you can call us and chat for a bit at any time, almost. Happy Wednesday. We welcome one and all. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Chris Marks.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
Phew, it's going to be one of those days, I can tell you already.
Oh, yeah.
On this computer, yesterday's show popped up. So I almost told you it was Tuesday all over again. It's not.
Yeah, every time I go in there, it has the previous day, and I have to refresh, go here, go there to get to the. Yeah, we've got.
Well, I had to
We're good.
refresh, and I did, and then because both of the computers had to be re-cleaned this morning because I left them plugged into the internet overnight, and there's somebody out there in yonder land that when they wake up in the mornings, their time, they got about 6 hours before I show up, and they got 6 hours to meddle if I got either one of these computers plugged in. And turned on. Well, they stay turned on. So.
I'm going to say a quick good morning to Charlie.
Charlie?
He's up and at 'em this morning. Hey,
Charlie who?
Our friend Charlie. He's
Charlie Lefty?
sent us good morning wishes from the West Coast.
It doesn't say he's incarcerated or anything, does it?
No, we just say, hey, all nice to see you.
Do
Hey,
do
Charlie.
they give you a phone call when they put you in jail? Do they give you an internet one
Why
internet
do you always
contact?
associate Charlie with jail?
Because he keeps telling me about it. He says, "I'm gonna go back to jail. I'm going to jail.
No, he's not.
I'm going wherever." No, he's a clown. He's good.
Well,
Yeah.
Good morning.
I love
also,
his impressions.
Good morning also to Robert Onesi.
Oh,
Robert.
yes.
Yeah,
the
Robert.
Onesi's family, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Robert, we'll talk about ham
Yes, he
radio any
is.
day you want to. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I posted something by mistake last night.
And yes, Robert, I'm on.
You posted that, and I'm like going,
Why did I do that?
I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, what?
Well, I looked at sometimes I'll look at the Facebook late at night and see what people are saying, but I said, what's that on here? I didn't put that on here.
Yes, you did.
I put it on somebody else's site because I was having an issue with a couple of new radios I got in. They would not work as the manufacturer's instructions that are translated from something into something else.
Well, you need to get them working because you're going to fix mine.
Well, I got it, but I posted
Right.
that, and then suddenly when I opened it up, like, what's this doing on here? I started to delete it. Then I said, wait a minute. There are 390 people that had looked at it at that time. Maybe they have an issue. Maybe this is kind of sometimes when you search for something, it shows up Facebook pages too, because I bump into that regularly. And Robert had a question. He had a good question, so I answered it.
Rayford, you're not in a lonely club on that. I've known people.
The what kind of club?
The lonely club, the lonely. I made a mistake club because I've known people to think they're taking a live video of someone. It's probably Charlie, and they're actually doing a live Facebook and not realizing that, which tends to sometimes create a lot of talk.
My goodness.
Yeah. So
my mistake then, I guess.
no, you did. I mean, at least you weren't live.
Well, I covered it. I hopefully
wish you wasn't
explained
live?
it so people could,
live on Facebook.
Oh.
But I've known
like
people
today.
that were taking
That would be
personal,
bad.
taking a personal
awful.
video and didn't realize they were actually, when they hit the live button, it meant live on Facebook.
Well, good morning. You were live and local, and it's your dime. So drop it in the machine. Let's talk.
Oh my gosh.
Where'd he go?
Hey guys,
Hey, Charlie.
I haven't spoken to you in a while.
Hey,
I haven't spoken to you in a while.
I was talking to somebody that sounded like you yesterday. You didn't call in yesterday?
Uh-uh.
No.
No, I've been having some issues, some like psychological issues that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
I
Well,
hope you're doing better.
get them done. You'll be fine. You can do it.
No, I'm not sure. We'll see how it works out. But listen, I've only been handcuffed and jailed. Hold on, wait a minute. How many times have I been jailed? I've only been jailed once in my life.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to hear the story?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was living in where was I living? I grew up in a lot of foster homes, children's homes. I was adopted. I was living in where was I living? I was living in St. Louis, Missouri,
Ew, okay.
and I was living in a children's home. It was called Echo Emergency Children's Home.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I started dating this girl. It was a camp. It was like I don't know what it was. It was like this reform school for boys and girls. So I was dating this girl. She was really beautiful. All the men wanted her, and I got her. Anyway, so we went to this high school, and she wanted me to buy her marijuana. I'm like, okay, I'll buy you marijuana. How does this work out exactly? What's that?
Oh, great.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's a horrible story because I was so naive and gullible. But she was so beautiful. Anyway, so she said, "Can you buy me a marijuana cigarette?" I'm like, "Okay." I don't know what marijuana cigarettes are, so I bought her a marijuana cigarette. Anyway, there was like a raid in the bathroom. And I'm being honest with this. Listen, you guys can tell me I'm not full of it. It was called Southwest High School in St. Louis, Missouri. Here's the deal. So I bought a marijuana cigarette for her in the bathroom. And all of a sudden, all the security guards ran into to the bathroom. And they had us all against the wall. And they said, "Okay, we're going to search everyone." Literally, I had the marijuana cigarette and I threw it across the room. And they saw me throw it. What's that?
Too late for that.
No. Too late for what?
To throw it across the room.
No. They saw me. Look, I'm not making this story up. You can't make this story up. They saw me throw my wallet across the room. Here's the beauty about it. My identification was in the wallet with the marijuana cigarette.
Wow, okay.
Southwest High School in St. Louis, Missouri. So I have no idea. I've never smoked marijuana, but she was so beautiful. She was my princess.
Let me just ask you a question, okay? Being one of suspicious nature like me, by any chance, was she working with that group of security guards at your school, and she set you up? She was beautiful. I mean, you know how that works.
No. She was in a foster home. She was it was a children's home.
Uh-huh.
So she had her own life story. So I had my own life story. I was in the children's home. She was in the children's home. There were hundreds of people in this children's home. Mm-hmm. But she was the most attractive, beautiful girl in this children's home. And I was kind of an attractive young man. So, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I threw my wallet, and then they saw me throw the wallet. Then I was arrested, and then I was thrown in like juvenile detention.
Oh, okay.
I have never smoked marijuana. I'm in juvenile detention because of this beautiful girl. And I'm stuck in juvenile detention.
I have a question. Did you ever get to go out on a date with her after that?
Oh, no. I really liked her a lot. No, I really liked her. But she was 1,000 times more advanced than me. But no, I was a good-looking guy.
Well, did they consider that? Did she consider that your first date? I mean, second date is next.
Yeah.
First date.
I mean, the whole situation. Listen, I grew up in foster homes, children's homes, group homes. My whole story is a joke. And Kelly's been very nice to me, but she doesn't return my calls. She's like, "Charlie's an idiot, a nutcase."
Right now, she is not working right now. She's recuperating, doing some stuff of her own.
That's cool. But anyway, it's a bizarre. Do you have any questions that I can answer with regards to that story? Or do you just want to say that's it, Charlie?
What was the food any good in jail?
Well, I wouldn't say jail. I wasn't a bad child. No, I wasn't like a bully. I wasn't like a monster child. Trust me, I was thrown to the jungles. My mother, father, none of these people, they cared nothing about me. I was just thrown to demons and devils.
So you were actually in juvenile detention, not.
No. I want to know. I wasn't a juvenile delinquent. I wasn't a violent person. I didn't do it. I didn't hurt people.
Were you in jail with other people?
No, at that one time I was. No, I was a very kind person.
Yeah.
I was just rejected by my family. Trust me. If you knew my stepfather, very quickly I'm going to hang up. My stepfather was an extremely successful certified public accountant. He married my birth mother when I was 3 years old. He genuinely hated me.
Ew.
Oh, that's
He hated me.
terrible.
So he rejected me. I shared the same name as my biological father, who he hated. He wanted to have a relationship with my biological mother. She rejected him. But once they got together, I asked her, I said, why did you give me up as a child? She goes, well, because, your stepfather hated your father. He hated your name. We shared the same name. That's why I was given up. Can you imagine giving up a child because they share the same name as someone that you hated?
Yeah.
No, but he'll answer later on for that.
Well, I'm not sure how he's going to answer, but anyway.
No, he will.
Anyway, this girl is so beautiful. To this day, she's really beautiful.
Okay, Charlie, let me give you a piece of advice, if I could. And I do some counseling, but not licensed like Kelly. You're a good person. You don't need to be so hard on you. You are really a very good person, and you've had a tough life. And things will get better. But I will say this, you're a good person. So look yourself in the mirror every day and go, Charlie, you're a good person, because you are.
Can I share something really personal with you guys that I'm going to share something with you and you're going to say, wow, that might be one of the most disturbing things anyone has ever shared with us?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I would say from age 6 to 14. And when I say this, I said, okay, I'm going to be very careful how I say this. From probably age 6 to 14 or 15, I was probably, this is going to be the most bizarre thing you're probably ever going to hear actually, I don't even know if I want to say that. I think you guys would find it disturbing how many times I was molested as a child.
Yeah, you've told us that before, and it's very sad.
Unfortunately, I don't find it surprising.
Not meaning him.
Not because of you, but because of people in general and things like I heard that story. I used to hear that story kind of regularly, particularly with little kids that they would finally come clean after they were 13, 14 years old and trying to explain why they were so mad, so angry all the time. I used to hear that, but I was not a counselor. I did what I could to get them hooked up with counselors. That's what cops do. But it's not as uncommon as, unfortunately, most of America would think it is. We read the headlines. That's just tip of the iceberg. And I'm sure you can.
Can I share this one thing with you guys?
Sure, go ahead.
So I was living in a children's home. I got to be very careful how I word this because I'm a little intoxicated. So this may come back to haunt me. So I was living in a children's home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I was befriended by a staff member there when I was 11 years old. Mm-hmm. And this staff member befriended me. Wonderful, wonderful person. Used to take me to his cabin, in a lake. We would go fishing, snowmobiling.
And how old were you at the time? How old were you at the time?
I was a 8th grade, then the freshman in the high school.
Okay.
I'm going to be very careful how I word this because I'm a little intoxicated. This may come back. Actually, it's not going to come back to haunt me because there's actually a news story. It's documented. It's in the newspaper. How do I want to word this? Okay, so this gentleman, he's not a gentleman. His parents were beautiful people. They took me in, but he had kind of an ulterior agenda with me. When you're 11 or 12 or 13, this person is 23, 24, you really don't know what's going on with this person. Anyway, so this person, whatever he did to me. There was nothing like horrible sexual abuse, but there was lots of sexual abuse. I actually went back and confronted that situation. Guess what happened when I confronted that situation?
What happened?
It destroyed my life. Trying to get a pedophile away from children, trying to get a pedophile away from somebody that works with children that have been abused. Okay, so I actually contacted the police department. I shared my story with them. They said they believed me. They said they were going to investigate it, even though it was like maybe, I think, 14 or 15 years later. Maybe 3 or 4 months later, they said, you know what? The statute of limitations has expired. We can't really do anything. We don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, wow. That made me super depressed. It gets even better. They called me back like 3 or 4 months later, and they said the district attorney wants to pursue this case, and they want to go after this individual. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling you what this guy did to me. They got back to me a couple months later. You know what they said?
What's that?
They said they couldn't help me. Want to know what I did? I hired an attorney. This is all documented. I hired an attorney. Actually, I offered this guy $5,000 to take a polygraph exam. Just to say, hey, listen, just answer this question. Have you ever molested a child? Never responded. Guess what I did next?
Asked him the question again.
I offered him $10,000 to take a polygraph exam. He never responded. Guess what I did then?
15?
15. Guess what I did then?
20?
Yeah, you got it.
No.
20 grand. All of us could take, all 3 of you right now, you could easily take a polygraph exam if I just gave you a random name. But you know what's even worse? My family, my family members, they all told me that I'm sick, that I'm crazy. They contributed so much hell to my life while I was trying to deal with this monster. This has got to be the weirdest conversation you're going to probably have today, correct?
Maybe today, but not the weirdest one I've had.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I'm looking at a
You're
lot
gonna
of
be
things
okay.
right now. I'm doing a lot of stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Just keep working with Kelly. When she has a chance to get back to you, she will. I have no doubt about it. Okay.
Hey, listen. Does anybody listen to this conversation right now? Maybe 1,000 years from now or 100 years from now, if you've ever been molested, if you've ever been sexually abused, if you're a woman that's ever been raped, if you've ever been taken advantage of sexually, surround yourself with people that support you. I was surrounded by monsters that broke me down. My own family members.
There's one person that hasn't left you. All you got to do is pray.
Who?
You got to pray.
Pray. There's one person that'll never leave you. Pray to him.
All right, guys. I know I sound like a lunatic right now. I'm dealing with a lot of stress, so
Hang
you
in there.
guys have
Hang
a
in
good
there,
day.
Charlie.
All right,
Hang
hang in
in there,
there,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Take a look at the marine forecast presented to you only as guidance. Okay. The further out from a situation, like the further we are from Friday or Saturday or Sunday, the more conditions can change that will affect the outcome, especially during this time of year when tropical systems, even in the early stages, can impact the way the ocean behaves well before other changes are even noticeable. Offshore today, looking fairly decent. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas around 3 feet, 7 seconds apart. Not a bad day. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Thursday, 15 to 20 knot winds out of the southwest, gusts up to 25 in the afternoon. Going to get a little dicier in the morning, seas 3 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers going to be choppy. Friday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20, gusts up to 25 in the morning, seas 3 to 5, 5 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers choppy.
Today we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 90. Heat index values as high as 101. Southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 16. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 76. Thursday, a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near 93. Friday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near a hot 95. And right now, the ocean temperature along North Topsail and Surf City, all the way up through Surf City, 81.3. Bathwater.
No,
Yeah.
nice and warm.
Let's go swimming.
Lots.
Disturbance number 1,
yes.
still down there. 40% chance of formation into some sort of a cyclone within the next 7 days. That's not real great. Something could happen, but it's an indication that, this is probably going to develop into something unless something else comes along and negates it. Surface observations indicate that a broad area of low pressure continues to move westward now across the Florida Panhandle. It's out sort of in the Gulf at this point in time, the main activity of it. The system forecast to continue moving westward. Go west, young man, and stay there. And could emerge or redevelop over the far northeastern to north central part of the Gulf, reaching the coast of Louisiana by Thursday. That's tomorrow. If the system moves far enough offshore, see, it's hugging the coast right now. And hugging the coast does not allow it to develop into anything of tropical nature, okay?
Yep.
Environmental conditions over the Gulf, very warm, appear generally favorable for additional development. A tropical depression could still form over the next couple of days before the system moves fully inland by the end of the week. Now, wherever it moves inland, the whole system, it's going to be rain. Now, we know what rain does. Folks, this is your warning. The National Weather Service is giving you a warning.
Mm-hmm.
There will be flooding if this system moves ashore. You've got to pick up some of the responsibility yourselves. If you don't have a weather alert radio, you're not going to know in the middle of the night if a tornado is on the ground coming your way. You won't know. Oh, my phone will work. No, it won't. No, it won't. Be too late. Those locals' activities, they get their notifications from that same weather radio that we get them from. Okay, then they hit the button and they go. Supposedly, hopefully, it's automatic, but that's what happens. So there's a delay already. Flooding. Just take it into advance. There is a possibility. If this system comes ashore, there's a likelihood there's going to be flooding. This is your warning. This is your warning. All of this crap, we have a responsibility. We spent, the Amateur Radio Club here, WCTI, spends a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks every year at the beginning of hurricane season programming for free your weather radios. You buy them, they program them. All over eastern North Carolina. A couple of places in Oslo County. $40, you get the radio or less. Get a decent one.
Yeah.
They're all about the same. Get a decent one. I bought 4 the last go round to give away. Okay? Those camps on the rivers, all of these people, businesses, everybody, your home should have a radio in it that goes off like a siren coming your way in the middle of the night. It will wake you up if you turn it on and have it programmed.
I will
You've got
tell
to
you
keep batteries in it, because if the power goes out for some reason and you've got batteries in it that you haven't changed forever, then your power doesn't work, then your radio's not going to go off.
I will attest to the statement that it will wake you up.
Oh, yeah, it'll wake you up.
It'll wake you up and you'll fall right off the bed. I mean, it's just...
We have personal responsibility here. The government has put in systems. The National Weather Service has put in systems. NOAA, they're called NOAA weather radios because NOAA maintains the systems that activate these radios. Now, you want to know how many there are in North Carolina? At least 10. At least 10 in North Carolina scattered through the VHF band. Oh, I didn't bring my radio in here, did I? I left it somewhere else. Yeah, I got one over there. I got one over there. Ham radios have got them on them. Your marine radios these days have got them on it. When you're out there on your boat, make sure you activate that alert so that when you're operating on another channel, if some thunderstorm is popping up in your neck of the woods, it will alert your weather radio, your marine radio on your boat. Hello. There is no excuse. Oh, well, I'll take that back. There's no reason, but there are lots of excuses. I forgot to get the batteries.
Done that, been there.
I didn't want to go to that trouble. It ran down and I didn't fix it. I'm sorry. Your excuses don't hold water with me. They're excuses. That's because you failed. Nothing else. It's because you failed. You screwed up. You didn't get one. Now go get you one. You can buy them today.
Well, a good note to that. One of my weather reporters down in Florida, she said the thunderstorms and rain that they were expecting wasn't as bad as it was. But as you mentioned, and we both follow these storms and things, even if it hugs the coast, New Orleans and those areas, you're going to
the
get
city below the sea level.
Yeah.
Just checking with you.
yeah, that one. You're going to get seven to 10 inches of rain. You get flash flooding, like Rayford was just talking about.
It will be there.
Yeah.
Well, you bring up a good point too. And then this tropical disturbance or whatever it may be, or going to be, or whatever that's heading for the Gulf. Right now, forecast models, of course, everything could change.
I don't mind.
Has the weather, the rain, and such from that curving back up and coming up through the North Carolina mountains.
Some of them have that forecast, not all of them.
That's
have
what
that.
I just said.
But if it comes ashore in Louisiana, our systems, when they're on shore, generally move from the west to the east, from out yonder this way.
Well, what I was attempting to say is there is a chance that the western part of the state could get more rain. It could be sprinkles. It could be flooding rain.
Yep.
Have a weather radio. Be prepared. Think now what you need to do to prepare for something that may not even happen.
Go buy a
But
life
be
jacket.
prepared.
If you don't do anything else, go get yourself a
Yeah,
life
that's a good
jacket.
idea.
You might need one.
Yes,
All right?
exactly. And right now, we have
Good idea.
areas in North Carolina, in Chatham County, Alamance, Orange County, that are still dealing with floods. And, there's more weather coming across the state right now. We have a chance this afternoon. I think last I looked, it was 50% chance of some scattered thunderstorms. But some of these storms are putting down heavy rain in some of these other parts of North Carolina. So we're going through our wet season right now.
It's going to get hot today because this morning at 6:30, 6:15, I was talking with the three of the ham radio guys here, and I had the low temperature at 74 at that time. One of the other guys, Southwest, was at 74, but he came up by 6:30. He was a degree higher. Anyway, the lows in overnight, the early morning temperatures were ranged from 74 to 78 degrees there in the borough. At 6:30 in the morning, it was 78 degrees in the borough. Thanks to the hams that get up early and they like to get on a chit chat in the early morning hours as they're making their coffee, taking their walk, taking care of dogs, cleaning up after a dog. Hey, Randy, and
I did that too this
because
morning.
we all talk for a few minutes every morning. So thanks to them.
Lee, you mentioned it already on our page, but for folks that don't know that this morning at about 3 minutes, Dr. Rose will be calling in.
Yes.
Then Senator Tom Tillis will be calling in if you have questions for either or. I did one though for Lawrence. Lawrence sent us a message about millionaires and billionaires convincing working class. I'd like
he
him to
said,
call in
how
to
did
explain
millionaires
that.
and billionaires
we're going to be a little bit late
convince?
now, but
After Senator Tillis.
He said, how did millionaires and billionaires convince working class people that poor people and illegals are the problem in America?
That's why I asked him to call after Dr. Rose and Taunton.
Senator Tillis should be wrapped up about 8 o'clock this morning. He's got other business to take care of, like telling people to kiss off. I'm just kidding. I can talk to him like that because we get along. He understands me and I understand him, and I don't blame him a bit. Anyway, coming up this morning, we will be talking with Dr. Rose as soon as the next phone rings. It's going to be Dr. Rose. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We'll have to adjust that one later on. But anyway, Dr. Rose, we're going to get her take on the impact of politics on our kids. Kids watching the. God knows, you used to tell kids to go study and watch TV and the news and watch what's going on. That's scary stuff right now. I don't know how to deal with it.
Well,
I don't know how I would have dealt with it at that age.
You're absolutely right, Rayford. I've heard stories of families like the father and mother being on opposite sides of a political spectrum, arguing and yelling in front of the kids, and the kids and then I've heard stories of how you'll have mom and dad who, let's say, maybe very, very right wing, and they're talking,
and then they go to school,
terrible things about the other side, and so that child is listening to all this.
Yeah, those kids can find out that there are things that their parents will demonize in a heartbeat, and they carry it to school, they carry it to church, they carry it to the playground, and you get somebody with a left-leaning, coming from a left-leaning family, somebody coming from a right-wing family, and those kids meet on the playground, and it's like a war.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
at the cable company,
Dr.
we
Rose.
wired all the schools. I'll make it real quick. We wired all the schools so they could get these educational channels, and they all got the same
Yeah.
educational channel. I don't know that they use that anymore.
Oh,
But
It's not the same anymore.
no, that's true.
Nothing
Well, that was
is the same.
indoctrination in itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you do. Go from one class to the next class. You find one right-wing teacher,
Well, we need
your
to
shop
ask Dr.
teacher or your electronics teacher. They're right-wing. And then you go into your liberal arts teacher who
That
is
happened
liberal-leaning like you would not
with my
believe.
granddaughter.
Dr. Rose, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Rose.
Good morning.
Well, good morning. I wanted to hear the story about the granddaughter.
My granddaughter, when she was attending a middle school over North Topsail, and she kept telling me about this one teacher she had, and you could tell he was extremely liberal, and he was teaching her class his views politically.
Mhm.
And because she was coming back with all of a sudden with these very liberal views, and I'm going like, where are you hearing this? She said, I came close to going to that school, but I knew it wasn't
That
my
would be
place.
bad.
It would be her parents' place to do that.
That would be bad too.
But I'm just like, it took a while to kind of
Well, I go back a lot longer than you guys did. 1964, there was an election going on called, Barry Goldwater against the world.
Yeah.
And Goldwater was a staunch Republican. He was a senator from the great state of Arizona. He was also an amateur radio operator. We had a teacher that year. One of the history classes, I think it was probably world history. I had him for world history one year, U.S. history the next year. I was confused. But anyway, Mr. T, he told us the day before the election, he said, now, I'm going to tell you what. If Barry Goldwater is elected, I will not be at work tomorrow.
Really?
He didn't say why, but he said, I will not be at work tomorrow. I know what he was going to be doing. Chug-a-lug.
You had
Not a
Mr.
doubt
T
in my
as your
mind.
teacher?
Yeah,
Pitiful.
yeah, it was pitiful. That's it. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy with he would knock off a 0 if you're grade, if you fail to do your homework, as long as you'd come before him and stand there and take 2 licks with the paddle. Girl, boy, it mattered not to him. Dr. Rose, things like that don't happen anymore, do they?
Well, it sounds like they're still happening. But
What can parents do? I mean, you deal with kids every day. That's your specialty as a pediatrician. What can parents do to make
most
sure
parents don't even pay attention. You really have to ask
really?
your kids
I believe
and
that.
talk with them when they get home, and then you can figure it out. But the most important thing is setting your kid on the right path. And I'm not saying Republican or liberal. I'm just saying you need to set them back on the right path, because they have to think for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They choose for themselves at some point. And a professor or teacher that they like trying to put their views into them. And the problem is that it's the charming, likable ones that are really going to influence your kid. And your kid obviously will like that teacher more because they're cool, they have cool views, it's got the same views as my child. So they'll come home and they'll hopefully elaborate about that. And you will figure out, okay, I need to set my kids straight. And that means different things for different people. And around the dinner table, you inquire and you say, so what do you guys think about this? And you'll hear all types of dumb things.
Yeah.
And you keep your patience and you say, well, this is the way I think, or dad thinks, and we've seen this by observation, and you will see a discussion come around the table, and that will add to your kids' background, being able to defend themselves. They might even get on the debate team. If you see foolishness,
That would be
coming out,
great.
not views, foolishness, then you have to go back to your teacher. Hannah was raised in private Christian school.
Uh-huh.
So we didn't have a lot of that. We did have, some wacky views that, we had to discuss with Hannah. But we didn't have a lot of very liberal, really unusual views from the teachers. So I guess we were fortunate about that. But, on the other hand, we had to pay for that. And not every parent has that luxury of paying for it. And so that's where a lot of diligence and attention is due, because your children deserve better than that.
Sure. I totally agree with you there. And I would not want my child, my grandchild, or anybody else's to grow up with this is the only way that you're going to see it my way, because this is the only way. Because I grew up with grandparents. I grew up with parents and great grandparents, and at one point in time for a while. But I was never told this is the way I have to believe. I learned myself how I wanted to believe, and and of course, being an oddball at that time, particularly from age 10 on, 11 on, 12 on, I talked to grown-ups all over the world. So I got viewpoints from a whole lot more people than the average American does.
Right.
I was one of 330,000 at that time in this country. But if you're exposed only to one small element, and let's just say it's the Democrat Party or the Republican Party, that's just still a very small radical element, because the radical Democrats and the radical Republicans are the only ones that have an opinion, apparently, because that's all we hear from.
Well, I think
That is true.
Dr. Rose, I think you hit on something very interesting, and that is dinner at the table with the family. I know growing up in the 70s, and we always had dinner together. That was it.
It's a requirement.
It was a requirement, and then you had specific, may I be excused, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know that happens as much.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
I asked the kids, so do you guys sit down at the table? I would say probably 20 to 30%
I believe
of
that.
kids are growing in a household where they regularly, at least, let's say 4 times a week, they sit around the table, whether it's because of sports or because of the schedules
Stupid telephones.
are not adding up, or because each one is doing their own, watching something on TV or their own tablet. But this is not conducive to good person formation. And we need to get back to, we sit at the table, we have conversations, we learn how to handle ourselves at the table. We don't eat. So many kids go out, or in young adults, and they actually eat like barbarians. Faces down on the plate. The nose is 2 inches from the food, and we just need to get back to, we have a little class to us. We did back in the 70s, 80s, 60s, from what I hear, but we lost a lot of that because we have unconcerned parenting. We just need to change that again. Hopefully that pendulum will swing back.
I was one of the first dishwashers that my parents had, my sister and I. So, I got to wash dishes one week, and she had to dry them that week because they couldn't put them up there and let them drain. They had to be dried. Okay, so I washed one week and dried, and she dried that week. Then the next week, we switched roles. So it was like one of those deals. And trash, that's a given. It's going to go out. And our trash can was not out the back door. The back door is about, 200 feet from here?
Mm-hmm.
Back out there, way back there. My mom didn't want anybody to see a garbage can. So that's the way it was. And you better put that lid on tight, because there are animals back there too that will open the lid.
Possums.
Yeah, those things.
Yes.
But if we sit down at the table, I did not have the excuse of, I just don't want to eat that. No, I didn't need to have that excuse, because my mama cooked good. And I like to eat even then.
Yeah.
Didn't eat a ton, and whatever I ate did not go to the belly, because I went into energy. But she never had to tell me there are starving children in China that would like to have that food, because there was none left for those starving children in China. Not off my plate.
Dr. Rose, I thought it was kind of cute. When you said you're a barbarian, but I'm the middle of 5 boys, and so, and my wife to this day still says nobody eats as fast as I do. Me, I mean, I was on my thirds before they were done with their first because I didn't want to be left out.
No, to this day.
Nothing wrong with that. And you know, if you're raised right and you go into the military, let's say,
Oh,
you
Lord, yes.
realize how fast you have to eat because otherwise you won't be able to eat. So
There you go.
that's okay. That's not what I'm talking
You
about.
missed chow call. Let me know how it works out for you.
That's not. Yeah,
I'll see you again tonight. Maybe you can make up for it. We got plenty of extra bread over there. Bread and butter was always available around the clock, but that was it.
I would tell you, Dr. Rose, to this day, I still, when I make a plate, I don't overload it. I do a little bit at a time because I don't want to waste any food because that always rings in my head. My mama and daddy saying,
right.
There's people in China that are starving, people in other parts of the world that don't get any food, you know.
Yeah, my dad apparently didn't care about them.
But it's things like that that stuck with me, you know, as a child growing up. But you don't see much of that anymore.
No, you do not.
You don't. You'll have a
You
big...
make a great point about what is going to stick.
Right.
What's going to stick about you to your children? And if we ponder on that, hopefully it's good things.
Okay.
Good things that they can use universally.
In a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking with the, I'm not going to call him this to his face, maybe not, a lame duck senator from the great state of North
Do
Carolina.
not call him that.
He's Senator Tillis is going to be joining us. If you have an opportunity to ask a question, which you tell me what question you would ask him right now.
How does he eat?
I think I would like to know what Senator Tillis opines is the best thing that he's done for the future of his grandchildren in
great
his
question.
Senate service so far.
Yes, I like that question.
The best thing you can leave that you've done that you can leave your grandchildren. How about that? I like that.
Yes.
That's good. Doctor, that's a very good
Yeah,
question.
I like that because so many people forget the human aspect of being an individual who carries the title of U.S. Senator.
Mhm.
And so I like that question, Dr. Rose.
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I knew you'd have a good
A
one.
little bit, as you could tell.
You've got it. You probably had to narrow it down because there are plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
Dr. Rose, thank you as always.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You guys have a great week.
You're a
You too.
treasure to talk with.
Bye-bye.
I like that because sometimes people, lots of, that's him calling right there, the senator. How about that?
How about that for timing? Good morning, Senator. How are you? We're just talking about you behind your back.
Yeah, no, it was good things.
Good morning, my gosh. You know, on any given day, there's probably 1 million people talking about me behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Well,
good.
It was good because we were talking to a doctor.
Yeah, we got a not that kind of doctor. We got a pediatrician, Senator, that she joins us every week, and I asked her to tell me one question she would ask you if she had the chance. So here's your question. You ready?
Yeah.
For the time that you've been in the Senate, is there any one thing or maybe 2 things or 3 things that you have done that you can look back at in time that you will benefit your grandchildren in the future?
Oh, sure. Let's start with when I was Speaker of the House, because that is doing something that Democrats always promised and never delivered and Republicans never paid attention to. That's restitution for people who were forcibly sterilized through the state's eugenics program. That's a real impact, and that was clearly an overreach of the government and clearly a conservative principle that led me to making sure we did right by them. Then you get up here, it's not the things that people go to the floor and get proud of a good floor speech. It's things that have enduring value. For example, the bipartisan infrastructure bill that I was roundly criticized for. I had a lot of my colleagues, my buddies in North Carolina, get onto the floor speech and say it was fake infrastructure. Last time I checked, the billions of dollars coming to the state to fix our infrastructure isn't fake, like the $100 million for the Alligator River Bridge. So to that pediatrician, the things that I'm most proud of are the things that I voted for in the face of fierce opposition and fake arguments that have been disproven over time. Those are the things that recharge my battery.
Good. I like that. Good response. Good question. Good response. Senator Chapman, talk to you. I've been waiting to do this since I could see this coming for the last 6 months. And then last month, I guess, maybe early this month, last month, you said you were not going to seek re-election. And you were having a bit of a tiff here there with fellow Republicans, other Democrats, all sorts of cool things. And then there seemed to be a wedge between you and the president. And the day that you announced that it was revealed that you announced you weren't going to run, he said something as simple as good, or that's good news. What in the Sam Hill was going on up there?
I don't know. Look, the president probably doesn't quite know how to deal with me because I have a bad, honestly, I just have a bad habit apparently of speaking truth to power. And the president, the problem, and I've told the president this more than once, that I don't think I've ever really directly disagreed with him. But I have, from time to time, had to disagree with some really bad advice that he's getting from people who have never been in an elected office, no evidence that they've done any large-scale implementation or execution work, and they're not looking around corners for this president. And I said, Mr. President, I don't work for the Article 2 branch. I work for the U.S. Senate, and I'm a steward of that institution. And when I see you acting on advice that I believe is going to harm you and harm the nation, then it is my responsibility to communicate to you my concerns. The biggest issue that the president has in this administration is he has people that are trying to collect pelts. They don't care really about the long-term consequences. What they care about riding this wave until the president is out of office in 28, and then they'll ride some other wave. And I don't believe that some of them are really that they care about the consequences. They care about the moment, and they care about running up a score. And we've got to protect this president's legacy, and you're not going to do that by being a coward and being afraid to say, hey, 80% of what you want to do here is good. The 20% is going to kill you. And I'll use the Medicaid example. It is truly an 80-20 example. The House bill that got rid of waste, fraud, abuse, work requirements for Medicaid, etc., saved $800 billion. And then somebody in the White House got too cute by half and convinced the finance chair that they should add this other $200 billion in savings to it that will do enormous damage to North Carolina. And you know why I know? Because I've given all of my research to the White House, all of my research to CMS. I spent 3 hours in 3 different meetings with Mehmet Oz and the experts in the White House and CMS on the phone. And I said, guys, I would love nothing more than you to break down and destroy this analysis that was completed. Here's all the information, footnotes, etc. Show me where I'm wrong so I can feel comfortable and not believe that North Carolina and many other states are on a time bomb when this gets implemented. And instead of recognizing the structural problem that was created by that 20% more that somebody in the White House insisted go to the Senate mark, they ran it through. We've already got a member who voted for the bill to propose an amendment to take the most offensive parts out. And I was just not prepared to do that. But it's just one of multiple examples of where we have amateurs advising the president and the White House, and we have pros in the Senate that do not have the courage to tell the president there's a better, more sustainable way to do what you're trying to do. And I'm going to be that person because I don't work for anybody but the people who voted for me in North Carolina.
Gotcha.
I have to say real quick, Rayford, I applaud you, Senator.
Oh, I do too.
I applaud you for that.
You and I may disagree on a few things, politically speaking. I'm not a politician, but in directions of travel.
Rayford, to be fair, it's going to be wrong from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. I was wrong twice, but this wasn't one of them. Yeah, I got you.
Here, I'll tell you, I had an encounter with a guy at the airport about 2 months. I don't know when these people are going to understand. If you get in my face, I'm going to get back in your face.
Yeah, they should by now.
And what I'm trying to say is, guys, I have 60 full-time staff. I have access to over 1,000 experts in congressional research and think tanks. Do you honestly believe at the end of the day that you've looked at this matter in the way that I have to because I'm a U.S. Senator? So if somebody wants to disagree with me, it's fine. I'll say, give me tell me why you disagree with me, and let's decompose that. You want to have that discussion, I'm going to try and convince you that maybe I have information that you didn't have access to form your opinion. But if you want to come in hot and tell me because you watched the damn segment on the news and you're an expert in the field, you better be ready for a dressing down, because that's exactly what I'm going to give you. You treat me with respect and you ask me what was I thinking, how do I arrive at this, it'd be great, because I can take down this Medicaid argument, and I don't know of a single person in North Carolina that can convince me that I'm wrong. I've got 3 independently created assessments, for example. So, I mean, folks, if you want to ask me what I was thinking, that's a great discussion. If you want to criticize me out of the gate before you figure out my thought process, then I'm going to treat you the way you just treated me.
One of our North Carolina bigwigs here in the state, not the governor, just below him, he put out yesterday, 2 weeks ago, out of the blue, North Carolina received a 3-sentence email from the U.S. Department of Education. It said that $165 million in education funding scheduled to arrive the next day was being frozen indefinitely, and that's going to cost 1,000 educators their jobs. Now, I do math, and this one was a simple math problem. $165 million divided by those 100,000 educators would have been $165,000 per educator per year. Wait a minute. Who in the education field, other than the extremely high ranking, do you think 1,000 educators that are going to be cut make $165,000 a year? That's just part of the stuff that I have to decipher. But nobody else does math but me, apparently.
Well, yeah, that's, the question is, how do we break it down? Y'all know, back when I was Speaker of the House, and since I've been up here, I've criticized the Department of Education for having over 5,000 bureaucrats in Washington making over $100,000 a year. That was back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Let's add up. But again, it's what we always have to look at are the details. What we have some people, advisors to the president, that look at the big picture. They don't get down to the execution. The biggest problem we have here is no question we can eliminate a lot of funding, but are we eliminating it in the right areas for maximum impact and minimum disruption? And they don't think that way. And that's what we need to do. We should dramatically reduce the amount of federal. First off, the federal government is only responsible for about 15% of all the funding in schools, in North Carolina public schools, but they're responsible for about 85% of the control in the classroom. So why don't we start talking about how we get the federal government out of the classroom and determine what, if any, of that 15% should still flow from the federal government? It's that sort of thought process we have to go through versus these populist, hey, this sounds good, it polls well, let's just go out there and implement it without any sensitivity whatsoever for how it can be implemented, whether it can be absorbed, whether it's politically and policy a good combination of the political and the policy factors. And I'm trying my best to help this president. I told the president on this Medicaid issue, I said, Mr. President, I'm just trying to prevent this from being your Obamacare. I told him that on the phone conversation. I said, if we're not careful with the way we implement this, that President Obama is responsible for me being the second Republican Speaker of the House since the Civil War, and President Obama is responsible for me being able to defeat an incumbent Democrat to become a U.S. Senator, because they rammed their health care policy down the throats of the American people, and there was a backlash. And all I was trying to say is if we don't do this Medicaid implementation right, it could be our Obamacare.
Ouch. Lee's got a question, I think, from a listener.
Yeah, I have a question, Senator. a couple of days ago, I was watching a news conference with a group of House Republicans that were trying to put forth a resolution dealing with political rhetoric and about how harmful that some of this political rhetoric has been about some of these House Republicans, and you know well yourself, receiving death threats because you've been the subject of a lot of those too. Do you think this resolution will go anywhere, and will it be more than just a slap on the wrist by a member of Congress making an unsavory type comment?
Yeah, well, honestly, the problem we have is if we're being honest with the American people, we've got equal numbers of Democrats and Republicans who are responsible for all of that. So if we can pass a resolution to get them to be a little bit more respectful, that'd be great. But the reality is, every single one of us and every single individual that are listening to this radio, this broadcast, and that are out in the social media sphere, every single person needs to tone it down. I, for example, have a pretty straightforward approach to death threats. I will have whoever I can to track them down and lock them up. And just ask the two people who are in prison right now for making the mistake of dealing with me. You don't get a pass if you threaten me or my family, and I'm going to do everything I can to put you in prison. And it's worked twice, and I got another one on the way. And let me tell you, the last thing you want to do is try and do that to me in person.
Wow, goodness gracious! I did not know that was all happening, but you sound more like me every day, Senator.
Senator, I have a question for you. This is Chris. A lot has been said here in the last few days about this Epstein file, which Chris personally could care less, but
He's dead.
He's dead. Is this thing going to rest? Should it rest?
Well, look, people can't have it both ways, right? Because we had a lot of people talking about, when I get elected, I'm going to release the file. But release the damn file and get past it. I'm with you. I've gotten to the point, except for this guy was a serial pedophile and apparently associated with other ones doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. We should take that seriously. I think it's not boring. I think the president said it's boring. It's never boring when you uncover a human trafficking ring that exploited young teenage women to the benefit of billionaires on a private island, right? Mm-hmm. Let's remember the original charges. But having said that, I just want people to do what they said they do when they were running. Release the file. Get past it. It is what it is. If it's a nothing burger, then people will get embarrassed for it being a nothing burger. If it's a something burger, then maybe some people will go to prison. I'm okay with either outcome. Let's just move on to the things that are going to make life in North Carolina better for the people that voted for them.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
Amen.
Any plans after you retire from the Senate?
He's coming down here to co-host with us.
Yeah. It come down to fish.
Let me tell you, I'm telling everybody, I'm getting these notes as if I died. I said, man, don't be sad. Eulogy. I think I got a couple more years in me. I just decided I'm going to try and have an impact on the life, on the lives of people in North Carolina and America in a different posture. But I got 18 months left, and I expect to get some other stuff done. And I expect to do everything I can to help this president have a good legacy. And I do believe there are people in his administration that don't really much care about his legacy. They care about their legacy.
They care about their futures, and that's about it. I get, and you may or may not, but I get these notices. I get some of them in the mail. I get most of them on TV that were ads that said, I got $900. All you got to do is sign your name on this, and then you're entitled to this $900 a month benefit for groceries, anything you want to spend it on, in addition to your Social Security. Have you run into anybody that's fallen for that scam yet?
I tell you though, it's something that we've got to focus on. Every day I hear, successful, well-educated people getting scammed, mm-hmm. and we have got to focus on how we can hunt these people down, prosecute them, and have added charges for the exploitation that's going on for really talent, for people with disabilities, elders. These scum are going after some of the most vulnerable populations, and we need to make it very clear to them that we're going to hurt them if we catch them. And I don't believe that we have the enforcement mechanisms in place yet to get it right, and we need to focus on that.
That is something that really irks me, because they just wait for us to die off so we won't prosecute them. And, after they get all the money that we can give them, I know what they're doing. Good God. Please, just come to my door. Come on in. We'll sit down and talk about it. Chicken.
I've got my 93-year-old mom. She's ready. Some person generally tell people to pound sand when they call her, but for every one of her, there are 1,000 people that are being exploited, and we got to get ahead of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Senator, love to see you down in Jacksonville one of these days.
Yes, definitely. It's been a while.
No, I'll get down there, but I was glad to see y'all on the calendar. It's good to catch up. We'll talk more over the next 18 months.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I would like to make it a regular thing. One quick question for you.
Yeah.
Any predictions about who's going to be running on the Republican ticket? I'm sure there are about 40 of them on the Democrat side. I can think of 2 on the Republican side. Do you have any thoughts?
It's
Going to be running to fill your seat.
Always making sure that I say something that annoys the hell out of some part of your listeners.
There you go.
All I'm saying is, don't make the same mistake I told you were making when you nominated mini soldier Mark Robinson. This guy is toxic, and he will destroy the ticket. I told these folks that 1.5 years before the election occurred. I was right. Don't repeat that mistake, or you own it.
Okay, I think he's one and done. Or
I love it.
He's already reached the cooking temperature.
If I was vague on that, I'll be happy to write something down. But it's pretty important for people to get rid of the emotions and get with keeping Republicans elected. And Mark Robinson is unelected in a statewide race.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we've talked
right.
about that definitely.
Senator, thank you, and I will see you soon, I'm sure.
Wow, I feel like going out and boxing.
You too, Senator.
Wow, thank
I
you.
think I'm going to hit the pool again today.
Man, he was wound up.
He's been waiting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Good for him, because, I applaud him. Like you said, we may not always agree with everything that our elected officials do. That's just the way it is. You have opinion, I have opinion, they have opinions. But for the man to stand up with, no concern for the fallout and just say, look, this is bad for North Carolina. And I have to applaud him, regardless of who it is. I have to applaud him. Yeah. I first met him in 2015 when he first started running, and he's always been good to North Carolina. And people that want to call him a rhino and say, good, he's getting out, you better be careful what you wish for. That's all I've got to say.
And who you put in.
Well,
that's right.
He's an American in name, and what he does. Everything he does, he's an American. He's working. I know he said for the voters in North Carolina who elected him. Well, you know what? In that general election, there are a whole lot more than Republicans who vote for him. You understand that, right?
Of course, of course.
He's done very well.
As far as that race, Rayford, I guarantee you, there's probably going to be at least a dozen names in that race for the primary.
Never should be.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and he's been a strong senator for North Carolina.
He has. He's been. I mean, he didn't play games like Jesse Helms did, who was just anti everything all the time. He made a name for himself nationally that way.
Wow.
Tom Tillis has made a name for himself nationally.
Yes, he has.
In the good ways, and the very good ways.
I'm just wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this one out. And next time I talk with him, we'll throw this one out. Okay, but so when J.D. Vance is running for president, would you accept his Republican, vice presidential possibility?
I want to ask him.
Because Vance is going to need some experience.
Yeah.
Somebody who's been there, got some T-shirts.
I think Steve was trying to call, but wait a minute. Okay, Steve. We had so many lines going at the same time. I think that might be Charlie now. But I do have to say that I wanted to ask him so bad, but it's too early right now. He's got 18 months to go.
Yep.
But I'm anxious to see where he goes after this, because I do not believe he's done.
No, I hope he's not done.
I
But,
see.
he needs some rest. He needs some time
I
off.
see a White House,
Yeah,
appointment.
It could be. We'll see.
There's governor of North Carolina,
Ugh.
I mean, shoot.
I don't know. I don't think he wants to stoop to that level.
Just sit back and smoke cigars with that job.
He's got so much time. He's got so much to make up for.
Yeah, it's
Clean
going to
up.
be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Somebody's going to have to clean up. But that's
Yeah.
now we have Charlie or Steve.
I'm not sure. They were both
Okay,
going
we got
back
somebody
and-
on the line.
I
Who's
think it's
this?
Charlie.
Hey guys, I'm not
Yeah.
smart enough or intelligent enough to figure out Senator Tom Tillis. I know that Trump on June 29th he released like this massive many paragraphs about Tom Tillis. It seems like it's very negative. So, like I said, I don't understand who this person, what he stands for. But does he stand for anything negative that you guys don't agree with, or do you agree with all of his positions?
I'm trying to think. There was one little item sometime in the last year that I did not like. I would not have supported that particular position, but it's nothing that would have caused me to say no, I don't like him, or no, I won't vote for him, or no, I won't support him. I think he's been a very, really good senator for us. We needed a good senator in that spot. And he's led the way. I mean, he's got a lot of really good things that he's been behind,
Yes.
and he got them through. And he did not count on all Republican support to get it. He reached across the aisle many times. I got news releases, everything he sends out. I got
Right.
them, okay, as I do with a number of people.
Mhm.
And he was in there with Democrats were co-sponsoring the bills that he was introducing. Republicans were co-sponsoring the bills he's introducing. I mean, the guy. He went after whatever the meat of the subject was, whatever kind of meat was on the table. He went after that. He didn't care how it got there, whether it was a Republican that shot that deer or whether it was a Democrat.
Yeah, listen, so I'm not smart enough to understand it. I'm going to be very fast. I'm going to talk super fast. But Trump released something on the June 29th. He said, looks like Senator Tom Tillis, as usual, wants to tell the nation that he's given them a 68% tax increase as opposed to the biggest tax cut in American history. At the same time, he's unable to understand the importance of a debt extension, which Republicans gave to the Democrats just prior to the November 5th election. So this goes on for like another 50 paragraphs. I don't even know what this means.
I don't know.
So,
The whole thing
Trumpisms.
boiled down to Tillis disagreeing with something that Trump had done or said as part of the big beautiful bill. There was a section in there about Medicare, Medicaid. Tillis did not believe 100% in what was in there. He voted against it. So that set Trump off. So Trump went after Tillis because Tillis didn't kiss the ring. That's basically what it boiled down to.
hey, can we just change the subject? I want to say two things, and I'm a very big fan of the gentleman that's on your show, but I always forget his name. What is his name?
His name is
Not
Chris.
Lee. What's the other gentleman's name?
Chris.
Chris? Me?
Chris.
Me, Charlie?
Have you ever, very quickly, I have two questions. Okay, have you ever thought about running in politics or like doing something in your community, like doing something like
Yes.
making changes?
Only when he was drunk.
Actually, Charlie, I was, and I was getting ready to, but I was.
He would be a good leader of this community. Yes, he would be.
I think you would be a great leader. I don't have any money. I can't even pay my rent next month. I'm desperately trying to figure out how I'm going to pay it. But I think I would donate to you if you ran for some sort of political office. There's something about you that says, I'm sure you're just as, screwed up as every other human being. But there's something unique about you. I like you. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure you're a complete F up like all of us. But there's something unique about you that I like. I really do like you as a human being. I think I like you.
Well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. I like you. I still think you should look in the mirror every day and go, Charlie, you're a good person, and good things will happen. But I do appreciate what you just said. Thank you.
And both of Chris's wives take good care of him too.
Wait, you said both of his wives?
Kathy was mistakenly at a meeting.
Multiple?
No, at a meeting that we attended, she was accidentally called
Another
name, and so
we won't let her live it down.
we all joke, and she takes. Kathy's a wonderful woman.
She is.
She takes
She
it
is.
very, very in stride of being called Stephanie, but my bride is Kathy.
But I will tell you guys this. You guys had the Senator Tom. Is it Tom or Thom?
It's
Tom.
Tom. The H is silent,
Yeah.
kind of like Thomas.
Okay. Well, okay. You know what? His parents need to go back to his birth date and say, let's get rid of the H. Okay, it is what it is. But he has 187,000. He has 187.8 thousand followers. I don't, like I said, I wrote something earlier in your chat room, and I think that Lee responded. I don't get why you guys don't have tens of thousands of followers. This is my favorite show
Because
ever.
they don't like us. That's why.
They're a
have so
local
many
show.
shows.
Yeah, they
I
don't
call
like
the
us.
shows. There's a show. There's a show that I called into. Actually, they're trying to sue me, and I reached out to Kelly.
Which show is that?
They have
Who is that?
I think
Anybody I've ever heard of?
I'm not going to say it.
Yes, you
Come
are.
on, we'll call in. We'll call
You
in.
can tell us who is it.
So I call into a lot of. You guys know that I'm kind of obnoxious, right? I call into a lot of different shows.
No, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So there's a show that I've called into for the last year. I have no respect for any of these people, but for some reason, they offered me a show. They were going to pay me. I'm like, I don't want to be on your podcast. There's nothing you can do for me. I could do something for you. There's nothing you could do for me. And then I started goofing on them.
Steve.
And then one day I called them and they started saying, hey, it's pedophile Charlie. I'm like, what?
Oh my.
What's going on here? You can't call me a pedophile. They just started calling me a pedophile. They offered me a show. And it really caused me a lot of psychological problems.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like, wait a minute. No. You can say Charlie's an idiot. You can say Charlie's a monster. But you can't call me, the sick term.
Yeah.
And there's a lawyer on that show. And he like agreed with it. I'm like, wait, no. You can't call me this. So I started leaving voice messages on this law firm. And I said, listen, I call into your show, and now you're basically calling me a pedophile. I'm going to destroy your law firm. And they're in Florida. I said, you can't just randomly call someone a pedophile. Call me an asshole. Call me an idiot. Call me a dirtbag. So I said, I'm going to destroy your law firm. Have you guys ever heard of Reddit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Charlie, we got to go. We've got another caller here. Okay.
Okay, so
see you
blow me
next.
up.
We'll see
Okay,
you
bye.
next time.
No,
Bye.
Charlie. No, Charlie, not blowing you off.
Not
Just
blowing him
got
out,
another
Charlie.
caller.
We do have people that are waiting.
But hang in there, Charlie.
Steve-O, what's up? Where you been?
Good morning, guys.
Good
Doing
morning.
well. Hope you have too.
Doing great.
How's your garden?
Huh.
What is that? A bad
Sounds a
question?
little.
It's not the best year for me.
Mine's doing great.
I got you. Sound a little funny this morning, Rayford. You're loud, and it sounds like Lee and Chris are in the other room.
That's because they are.
I got you. Oh,
Where you
I
going
was
to?
listening to.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can let's for Charlie, Chris, talk. Say something now.
Hello.
Is that anybody?
Hey, Steve.
Okay, Steve, you were listening to Tillis. What's your comment?
Yeah, Lee's the only one that's low right now, but I heard her. I was listening to us this morning, and yeah, man, what a breath of fresh air. To have somebody who's sensible and got morals and standards that they're not going to compromise on.
That's right.
And I honestly, I agree with his assessment that he don't really think it's so much Trump as he thinks it's the people that's advising him. I would fully agree. I don't think Trump is actually putting pen to paper on any of these policies. I believe it's his advisors putting stuff in front of him, and he's just choosing a la carte what he goes with. Now, I ain't saying that they're making the decisions for him, but I don't think that he's the one that's actually crafting these policies and these bills and stuff, that he's that involved with it. So, I kind of agree with that I think he's getting bad information. And, as much as I, dislike Trump, I'm not going to unfairly accuse, him of things I don't think he's really doing.
Steve, I'm going to put him, see if this makes sense to you. I'm going to put him in the same boat that I was in for years and years and years and years and years. I was furnished computers, and I have, whatever I needed, I just called the guy and said, fix it. Do this, do this, do this, and this. I've got to do it now myself, so I have a problem. But Trump, do you think he ever had to draft anything whatsoever during his lifetime? He had other people doing his work for him. All he did was put his final signature on the paperwork, sign the check, and it's done. That's the way I look at Trump, as kind of like I look at me. I didn't have to do that kind of crap. I had somebody else for it.
Right. And I fully understand. That's the reason why I say I don't really blame him solely on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that his administration is full of a lot of people with doesn't have the same credentials we would normally see for those positions. They don't have quite the life experience that you would normally see for those people in those positions. So, I think that could be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve, I think you're right on that. But I would let me ask you this. So you think we're now in year 5 of something like that happening?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I was going to say, I think all presidents, to a certain extent, take their policies a la carte. They advisors bring stuff to them, and they make their decision based on that advice. So any president's probably only as good as their advisors. Yeah. Now, I will say, I think in this case, you've got 2 really old people, and like you say, Trump's he's always been somebody who is a spokesperson or an administrator at best. He's never actually been what I consider get your hands dirty type person. He's always at the top of the organization, and everybody else is doing the grunt work. And that's expected. That's the way it is in business. I'm not trying to, say that there's anything wrong with that. That's just kind of how you do it. I will say that, with the last president, that was somebody who was involved in crafting politics their whole life. So they may have gotten a little, deeper in the water on that than the current one is. But that's just because of their life experiences, But I think all presidents do that to a certain extent. It's too big of a business to run, to micromanage, But also knowing if you got good or bad advisors is part of that as well. And the inexperience of a lot of his advisors is brings a lot into question on that. But what I wanted to talk about was the main thing is that Tom Tillis spoke again about all the people that he had that looked into the Medicaid portion of that bill and said it was bad for North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of Republicans and some from North Carolina, I ain't gonna call them out by name, that are saying that that's not really true, but they don't have any studies to back up their position. They're just saying, no, it's all going to be fine. Trust me. And that's part of what I have a problem with the, a lot of them Republicans right now. And that's why I'm so, I hate to say it, but proud of Tom Tillis that he's sticking to his guns on this. And, it don't take a genius to figure out if you're going to cut $1 trillion from Medicaid, $1 trillion divided by 50 states is $20 billion per state on average. North Carolina's budget for 2024 for Medicaid was $27.8 billion. If we cut on average 20 from it, there are going to be people that are kicked off that deserve it. There are going to be people's grandmas that to get to that number, you're going to have to kick people off that deserve Medicaid, and he knows that.
Yeah, and of course, a big chunk of Medicaid is primarily state funded in the beginning to begin with. So it's not a federal program. Medicare is. Medicaid is a state mandated program. So that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. And yeah, the state may have to cut some. They may have to cut it. I don't know. Can't blame that all on the federal government, though. I can tell you that. You know how if I had presidential wannabes and I was having to make up my mind and they really cared what I thought, I would go for a ride with every one of them in their car. I'm sure they would not be driving. And then I would like to, pull over to this gas station. Would you fill it up, please? I'd like to see how many of them could fill it up if they knew how to fill it up. if they'd ever filled up a car with gasoline
Or going grocery shopping.
or gone grocery shopping or opened a can of beans with a can opener. I've got a feeling Tom Tillis can, Tom Tillis has, but I'm not sure that our president has ever filled up his car
Well,
with gas.
And I don't want to demonize somebody because they've been wealthy their whole life. And
I don't
were
either.
born with a golden spoon in their mouth.
Yeah.
But they don't have the perspective
That's right.
to know what it's like to be a working person, and that's part of a problem. It's not that there's anything necessarily wrong with them, but I don't know what it's like to be a black man. I'll never know.
Probably
I can have a perspective on it, but I'm never really going to know what it's like. And it's the same way with somebody that's been rich like that.
Mhm.
They can kind of understand, but they're always going to see it from their side of the reality,
Mhm.
And
All right, Steve-O, we appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
all right, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
All right,
Take
y'all
care.
have a blessed day.
You
Have a
too.
blessed day.
Offshore today, we're looking at this thing that's down there off the western side of Florida now, and the southern part of the Panhandle, along the coast, the Gulf Coast. We're looking at it. Don't know what's going to happen yet. So, but it's probably somebody going to get wet. Somebody is getting wet now, but somebody's going to get really wet. Likely, that's the possibility. Offshore today, though, winds out of the southwest, 10 to 15 knots, seas about 3 feet every 7 seconds. Not a bad day to be out there if you want to try it. Sounds and rivers only a moderate chop, so you're looking fairly good today. That's not going to be the case for the rest of the week. It's going to get dicier as we get closer to the weekend. Tomorrow, 15 to 20 knot winds out of the southwest with gusts of 25 in the afternoon. 3 to 4 footers could be bigger in the afternoon. There probably will be further offshore. Sounds and rivers choppy. By Friday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25 in the morning, 3 to 5 footers. I told you they're building, and they're getting closer together, 5 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers choppy.
Okay, today we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Partly sunny with a high near 90. Heat index values as high as 101. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 76. Thursday, a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Mostly sunny with a high near 93. And thunderstorms, mostly sunny with a high near.
So that,
Ever heard of a lady named Robin K?
Robin K.
You don't. She's a
Don't-
longtime
don't-
American Idol music supervisor.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She and her husband, Tom
Yes.
DeLuca, found dead, murdered inside their L.A. mansion Monday.
Mhm.
The two were found in their Encino home after LAPD officers conducted a welfare check. Not sure who called them, but somebody did. Both were 70. Officers saw blood near the entrance of the home and broke a window to get access. Inside, they discovered the couple had been shot. Kay was found dead in the pantry. The pantry. Her husband's body was found in a bathroom. Police had responded to the home last week after a neighbor spotted someone jumping a fence and possibly trying to break in. Officers quickly got there, found no sign of forced entry, so that was it. They took a report. A month and a half ago, DeLuca was talking with a man that took care of his swimming pool. He serviced his swimming pool, told him of yet another attempt at that 6 weeks ago. Their dogs started barking at that time at the masked intruders outside. When the lights came on, the men took off. That was in the middle of the night. The couple had reached out to their security company after those, but the company had not started installation of an enhanced system as yet. In the case this week, apparently the couple, they were away. They came home, surprised a burglar inside the house. He's believed to have been inside the home for as much as 30 minutes when they arrived. If you got a gun and you carry it in your car, when you walk out of your car, get out of your car, you walk into your home, you carry your gun. 22-year-old Raymond Bordarian has been arrested and charged with murder. Both victims had been shot in the head. Police do not believe he knew either of the victims. It was not revealed whether Bordarian had any connection with the first attempts. There's still a lot to look at in these cases. This is strange.
It is.
Multi-million-dollar
Yeah.
home, mansion, needed better security, need perimeter security first. It's okay to have, you better have it at your house as they come knocking on your door and ringing your doorbell and trying to get in or whatever, or standing there with a couple of knives and a mask on their head. It's great to have that, to be able to know it. But if you get alerted out of them as they approach your yard, not on the sidewalk necessarily, but as they get within 15, 20 feet of your home, further, if you got a big lot, you need to know they're there.
And very vicious, very horrendous murder. I mean,
It was.
angry murder. Angry.
You talk about a security, Nicholas Sparks,
Yeah, yeah.
who resides
Up
in
in
New Bern.
I'm mad at him. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
He
sorry.
wouldn't marry you?
No. Well, you
Okay.
finish your
So
story.
it just you're talking about
I
security.
think I hit a sore
So
spot.
Kathy and her late sister went to the mansion,
Oh.
to his residence.
What?
they-
Stalkers.
No, they weren't stalking, but Kathy always gets autographed books at the official autograph signing.
Yeah, I do. I get them too.
And they were standing there trying to get the picture taken, and the lady came out and said, "Off the property."
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, I don't understand what they have that kind of mansion that they're living in. They don't have perimeter security.
I mean,
already set in.
electronic security is great.
That's Charlie.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lee.
No, you
why are you
finish your
why are you mad at Nicholas?
Because the last couple of books that he wrote, and I'm a huge Nicholas Sparks fan, and like Kathy, I have his autographed books.
Yeah.
I had to go get them. And now John Legato is my big hero, and I get my books autographed by him.
He's
but
married.
this has nothing to do with stalking anyway. So the last couple books that I got, they ended badly. I am romantic at heart.
Oh, God.
And
You didn't like the ending of his book,
No,
and
I
now
didn't.
you don't like him?
I'm mad
But you
because
still marry him, wouldn't you?
No, he's not my type. But I mean, the last one I
Man.
got was on a DVD, and I watched it during a flight.
Yeah.
And when I got back home, I finished it. I was so mad at the way it ended. I took the DVD out, I took it into the garage, and I beat it with a hammer. I'm like, I hate you, Nicholas Sparks. I hate you. What? Why should a story end like that?
Kelly, we need you back in here. She needs help. I'm fixing the futon for her now.
No, I've switched
Good
over to
God.
John's books now. So, Nicholas, you're no longer on my list.
Oh,
I kept saying, look,
okay, go ahead.
I had to go to New Bern, and this is when I was at the post office, and I had to write and inspect routes, city routes.
Yeah.
They would not let me ride on the route that Nicholas Sparks lived on.
They knew you back then.
They knew I was going to jump out of that truck, and I was going
Really?
to, like, Nicholas Sparks, come out now.
That would have been an international incident.
Haven't you ever watched a movie and you get all built up, and it doesn't have to be a romance movie. It could
won't
be anything. Yeah, we know. It could
Hallmark?
be any. No, well, I don't watch a lot of Hallmark.
Anymore.
No, I never really have been a big fan of Hallmark, even though Kelly said I was the
What
other
was your
day.
favorite Hallmark movie?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay,
I
go
can't
ahead.
think. But because, Hallmark movies are all the same.
Yeah, same people. too.
And I don't have anything against them, and I don't have anything against anybody watching. I just like action adventure movies.
Some of them have gotten
That's-
kind of old. They started out as grandchildren, now they're grandparents.
Yeah, really. But I like action adventure. But have you ever gone, like, maybe to the movie theater, and there was a movie that was really super hyped, and you thought, oh gosh, this is going to be a great movie, I can't wait to go, and you get to the movie and you get all just like riled up with it, you just get all into it, and then it ends and it has an ending that just is bad, it stops, it's over with, and you're like, I just spent $15 on a movie ticket for this.
98% of the movies that I watch, they're predictable. I know what's going to be ending
yeah.
anyway.
But
And I
when
pick
you
a
get
good
to the
matter.
movie that's not, but don't you want to beat up the person who wrote the movie?
No.
Well,
I do.
that's why I never watched the Titanic. I knew how it was going to end. It was crazy. Why did
It's
people?
Well, that's another good one, the Titanic. Of course, we all know that.
What ended? Well, you wait
It's still
the
killing,
boat sank.
it's still
so
killing people.
Well,
That's
yeah.
how that went down.
Yeah, But everybody was going to
Stupid.
see it because of Leonardo.
DiCaprio.
Nobody even knew who he
yeah,
was when
whatever.
they went to see that movie. That was his claim to fame. Was, still is. Okay, now let me talk to you. Yesterday, 6:40 in the evening,
Hmm?
I hear motion at the front door.
Uh-huh.
But two things that happen at my front door. First, there's motion at the driveway. There's motion then at the front door. And then if somebody wants me to get up and go there, they'll hit the doorbell, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was motion. That was it. Robbie came by. I didn't even bother to look at the camera because David didn't stay. Robbie came and she said, there's a guy at the front door. I said, okay. He's got a ball cap on and he's got a little tablet thing he's typing on.
Oh.
Okay, so I said, well, gee, let me go see who this is. He didn't ring the doorbell. I get a separate ring when that happens. I get up, go there. Well, he's gone and look out on the road. He's moving over to the house next door. And I said, well, I can intercept it. He was on a scooter. One person
Yeah.
scooter thing you stand up on. I
Yeah.
said, oh, okay, come and get over there. I walked straight across the lawn, and of course, my neighbors did not answer their door. Not unusual, kind of like Robbie. I'll answer the door if you ring the doorbell. I started over there. He left the porch, and then he said, I said, hey, anything I can help you with? He said, well, yeah, I just left over there. Is that your? Yeah, that's my house. And I said, what can I help you with? I can't get to the door real fast. You didn't ring the doorbell. Okay. I'm with it. He had a ball cap on, a bug guy.
A bug
A
guy?
bug guy.
Usually they're security. But,
Yeah, a bug guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And,
trying to sell you
And I said,
content.
okay, hold on. First of all, do you have a solicitor's permit for Jacksonville? So he pulled it out. He did. It's official from Jacksonville. Let me tell y'all something. If you got a solicitor coming to your door, I treated him nice at that point in time. I said, we're not interested, but thank you. I appreciate you getting a solicitor's permit because I knew of two people who did not have one in the past years ago that came to my door and they spent the night in jail. He said, what? I said, yeah, it's a violation. It's a city ordinance here. You have to have a solicitor's permit, and it doesn't count that your office does. It counts that you do on your body.
Huh.
And so if you live in the city limits, folks, if they come to your door, first thing you do, ask for their solicitor's permit. If they don't have one, say, sit down on the porch. Somebody will be right with you. And then call the police. And go ahead, follow through, go down with the police. Will you take out a warrant? Yes, sir, I will. Go down and take an hour of your time, swear out a warrant for them for soliciting, trying to sell you something. Well, I just made the arrest on the spot myself.
Doing
Really made one guy really
that.
mad one night. 9:30 at night trying to sell a vacuum cleaner? You got to be kidding me. You got me up off this floor while I was laying down watching TV? No, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know,
you can do that, people.
I'm not doing all
You
that.
can't arrest
I'm
them,
just
but I
not
could.
answering the door. Well, you know, I told you that my doorbell, when you hit it, it plays the national anthem. And it's so funny to watch the people standing outside saluting and at attention.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine. It sounds like M65.
No, but I have another one now that I just recently put on there. So when you ring the doorbell, you'll get this, hey, hold on just a minute. Jake, put the gun down. I told you don't need the gun to answer the door. Blah, 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 you know?
Well, Jake would be there. My Jake would be there barking.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Jake, good boy, down, Jake. Hey, don't bite this one.
Man, nobody rings our doorbell except somebody tries
Well,
to
you
sell us
live
our
in the
security.
country.
Well, yeah, but in the security, they still come out to try to say security system when there's big signs right there that says you got one.
I have a sign on my house right there.
Yeah.
I hide that says no solicitors.
Oh, I have that too.
Here's something I would like the city council to consider. Require that it will make the option available to us, the residents of the city, that if we do not want any solicitors coming to our house, in addition to putting up a sign that says no soliciting, have that on a do not call list and hand it out. No, and hand that list out to everybody who gets a solicitor's permit. So they will know, and there are no questions asked at that point in time.
Yeah.
That's called prima facie evidence, by the way. And put you. But I would go down, sign my name, put them in a heartbeat. And this address, no soliciting.
That do not call list is the biggest.
That's a
joke
telephone. That's one by the
ever.
federal government, never was enforced.
I know, but you brought up the do not call list, and I'm just saying that's the biggest joke ever.
Our equivalent to the do not call list, but ours will work. It's got jail time associated with it.
So let me switch off our doorbell rings for a second. I was watching Facebook for things, and a question came up from Joe McLaughlin about the 2-year extension on driver's license.
And Senator Lazaro answered it.
Yeah. Okay. So for right now, because of the backlog, if your license were to expire for tomorrow, it's still good for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But the question was, what's this going to do for going to vote because of voter ID?
Good question.
And Senator Lazaro was quick, as he always is, to answer that. And you still have to have voter ID.
This is what
It doesn't have to be a driver's license.
So Lee, yeah.
This is what Senator said. There has been no change to North Carolina's voter ID requirements. While the Division of Motor Vehicles has temporarily extended driving privileges by 2 years to address ongoing processing delays, this extension applies only to driving eligibility, not to voter identification. It is imperative that you renew your driver's license as soon as possible. Under current law, a valid photo ID is required to vote in North Carolina. Acceptable forms include a North Carolina driver's license that has been expired for no more than 1 year at the time of voting. The temporary extension granted by the DMV does not alter the voter ID law. Please take steps to renew your license or obtain an approved form of identification to ensure you are prepared to vote.
They may have extended it for 2 years, but sometime within a year, you should be able to get your driver's license. Okay.
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
should.
They're giving you an extra grace period. If you put it off to the last minute again, well, guess what? You're going to be in the same boat again. You're going to be in long lines again.
This extension for
Don't be
renewal
dumb.
on your driver's license only has to do with your privilege to drive.
Right.
That's the only thing it has to do with. Anything else that you need, if you have to have a valid driver's license to drive on base every day, just using that as a rare example, then you better get it renewed.
And I agree with Rayford. If you, a little different than trying to get a knee surgery done right now. But even with that, if you started today and you're going to tell me you can't get an appointment in a year,
Well,
then you're not trying real
can't
hard.
do it at my time. I can only be there on Tuesdays at 9:35 a.m. And that's the only time I've got available. So, and they can't get me one of them for the next year. Wrong. They can't.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, well, you know
So
what I
work
think.
it out, dude.
Yeah.
Work it out.
I think COVID just spoiled everybody
It did.
because during COVID, it was like, don't worry about getting your license plate renewed. Don't worry about getting your driver's license. Don't worry about this or that. Everybody's in,
I'm not worried about just mailing off.
just, everything was just so, like because of COVID. Well, you know what? We have a responsibility as citizens. It is a privilege to be able to drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a privilege to be able
It's
to
not a
use
right.
these roads. It's not a right.
It's not a right. It's a privilege.
So, but
Things are getting tougher, rougher, meaner in Washington every day. Barry
Yep.
Obama turning out. He's turning on out there Democrats. The children of the View turn on Obama, saying he's blaming the wrong politicians for the plight of the Democrats. And former CNN's anchor, Chris Cuomo, you ready? Says that Democrats paying attention to AOC is a huge effing mistake. He was pretty straightforward when talking to Democrats who support the Congresswoman from New York. If you think, he says, transport's got you in a pickle, you're about to be in a whole bucket of brine. He was relentless on his podcast, explaining that the AOC crowd's definition of woke is about weighing the needs and wants of the few over the many, and that the Democrats are making that mistake once again by legitimizing the New York State Congresswoman. He's got it in bad for Ocasio-Cortez, doesn't he? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's a tragic thing. It turns out okay, but it's still a tragic situation. Another sunbather went to the hospital when she was run over by the driver of a pickup truck on a beach in
Ooh.
Oak Island down in Brunswick County.
Ooh.
The 15-year-old was not believed to have been seriously injured and was taken to the hospital only out of precautions, what the rescue folks said. The truck belongs to a company that's conducting beach survey work for an engineering firm in preparation for the upcoming beach nourishment project scheduled to begin later this year at Oak Island, the town of Oak Island. They just love social media. They said the social media posts spread far and wide, claimed that the truck involved was a beach safety vehicle. Another citizen journalist out there who gets brain scans from a proctologist is what I say.
Ooh.
Good.
Wow. Brain scans
That's
are
nice.
proctologists. I like it.
Want to remind people about this Saturday.
Okay.
The Onslow County Sheriff's Department is having a summer blast out at Onslow Pines, and lots of games and fun. Law enforcement, hoping Crime Stoppers will be out there, and food. Be a good time.
And we also
kind of food?
have
Let's get down to the basics. What kind of food they got? Is it going to be from the jail?
No. So you have food vendors.
Oh, okay.
So
and Chris, we also have the North Carolina Pacific. I always want to say specific.
Yeah.
Pacific Arts Festival this weekend. And in fact, Mary Sullivan will be with us tomorrow.
Oh, good.
She's here every year to talk about the arts festival there and their culture and everything to be expected. And they all have entertainment all weekend,
gonna
all
have
the food
food?
trucks and everything. Oh, yes, food.
They're going to have any specific food for the Pacific Festival?
Yeah, it's Pacific. Yeah, that.
But they could have specific food for the Pacific
Don't-
Festival.
Don't
Now you say
do
that.
that to specific food for the Pacific Festival. Can we move it over to the Atlantic?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but she's going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And then there's going to be another festival. That's Drew calling.
Oh, okay.
We have another festival coming up soon, which is a
Which line?
line 9-2. And it's going to be the Latino festival. The
Yeah,
Spanish
Hola.
festival.
Hola. Hispanic.
We've got
Onslow
somebody
Latino
that's going to be
Association.
coming on to
Beautiful
talk
Pablo
about that
Spaniel,
too.
Pablo
Would that be-
Alfonso. When we're
would that
going to
be
have the French
Christine?
festival.
Mary's making the arrangements.
Good.
for
That's-
us.
When we're going to
Christina.
have the Bonjour Festival. I want to see a Bonjour
Bonjour tout le
Festival.
monde on Sunday soir.
You know what? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would just like to see us have
festivals. Lots of them.
festivals.
International festivals would be
Onslow
great.
County should have one huge festival every year
Yeah.
that we all can look
I
forward
think
to.
we ought to have
And I
a,
don't want to do skate or whatever. What is it?
the
the
skate
snow thing.
festival from the 70s. I think we need to have a Miami Shores festival. Let some folks from Miami Shores come up here and tell us how they do it there.
Bring them on up.
Yeah.
What about it, Drew? Can you handle it?
Drew? Hey, Drew, you there? Hello, Drew.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yeah,
Drew.
actually,
Hey,
loud and
Drew.
clear.
Hi, Drew. Hi, Drew.
Oh,
Call back, Drew.
Come on back, Drew. Give us another
Come back.
ring-a-dingy.
It's just, I know I keep going back to Downtown Alive, and that was
I remember
so
those.
much fun.
I remember
know.
those well. Line 1 is Charlie.
Friday
line
nights,
2 is Drew.
Drew.
Okay, we're going to try Drew again. Drew, are you there this time?
Hello,
Is that
Drew.
better? Can you hear me this time?
Got
Yes.
your limoncello there, good buddy. What's up?
He's doing a commercial. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us, Drew? Can you hear us?
You're all gargles. I can make out what you're saying.
How about me,
Now,
Drew?
you were talking about driver's licenses.
Yes.
I don't know about North Carolina, but Florida, it's a scam. My mother, before she passed away, renewed her driver's license online,
Uh-huh.
and they extended it for 8 years. She was legally blind and couldn't walk,
Oh, Lord of
Oh
mercy.
my goodness.
and got a driver's license for 8 years.
I know, Drew, I used to do mine until I reached that magic, I guess, number of 65, where you have to go in and now you have to read their eye chart. Even though you can go to an optician,
An eye doctor.
and one day earlier, and they go, your eyesight is this and this, but the Department of Motor Vehicles still wants you to read their line.
Yeah, of course. Want to see if they're spelling it right.
Well, in Florida now, I think it's 75 because I just renewed mine online and I'm not 75 yet. No problem.
Child.
Youngin.
He's coming up. He's got one coming up in August, though. I know.
All right, guys.
I know
you
his
have a
birthday.
good day.
You too.
By the way, Drew, thank you again.
Talk to you later.
You did make
He's not hearing
my thank you.
Yeah,
Oh.
his audio's not getting through to him. I'll
Okay.
have to do some more checking after the show. Okay, Charlie. One more time, Charlie. Are you there?
This is my last call for
I know,
today.
Charlie. I'll guarantee you that. Go ahead.
Charlie.
So I was reading about Ashley Biden, Joe Biden's daughter, and she was in a rehab facility, I believe, in Florida. And while she was there, her diary was left there. And some very negative people, they took her diary.
Yeah.
It's 100% confirmed by the FBI that this was her diary. In her diary, she wrote about, and this is confirmed 100%, that that Joe Biden, her father, used to take nude showers with her up until the age of 13.
Yeah.
She also talked about, and you guys are going to cut me off. Don't cut me off. Please don't cut me off. She also wrote about, this is factual. You can research this. She also wrote about, was I molested? Was I sexualized by my father? Joe Biden is a monster human being. It's never talked about in the media. So anyone that's listening to this, just Google Ashley Biden's diary.
Okay.
You're going to see Charlie.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you and cut you off, Charlie. First of all, what is the source of that information about that diary? Just answer the questions, then don't give me any excuses. What is the source of it that you got it from?
Have you ever heard of the website called Snoops or Snopes?
Okay, I'm done with
Yes.
it. All right, that's it. Goodbye. Guarantee you that's BS. She could write all she wants in her diary. She's in a rehab facility.
Mhm.
She leaves it behind. Do you not think that that place would have been scrubbed if that was actually the case before she ever got out of there? Do you not think that that would have been taken care of before she ever got out of there by the Bidens, their team?
Oh,
Come on. That is not even logical for somebody to think.
Well, I just brought her up on Wikipedia, and I don't see any of that.
Well,
No, she did have a diary theft in 2020. Her
yeah.
personal diary was stolen and sold to a far-right activist group. Project Veritas.
Debunk your
Oh,
crap.
yeah.
I don't go for. I just don't even put up with that. So I'm not going to spread those kind of rumors. Yeah, I will tell you right up front, it's probably likely a lie all the way through.
Oh, it says not only was her diary stolen, but other personal items from her were stolen and transported across state lines, and they were being sold.
Yeah,
So,
big deal.
yeah.
yeah, we
so-
talk about this yesterday, I
Nothing
think,
else.
or last week, in some of these online things like the other 98% and the Lincoln Project and all these. And
Project
people,
2025.
yeah, people, they post these things. I'm sorry, they copy them and then they post them.
And then they add to or
And-
rehab.
yeah.
They do whatever. Other people jump on board and they take clips of that and they take clips of that. It's worse than the game of gossip with
Isn't
the
it?
kids.
It's almost like live National Enquirer.
Yeah, and they were more reputable.
The three-headed person there, the three-headed baby that was born and
Don't
things.
forget that I was abducted by aliens and they did their thing to me. Bad men must really hate the fact that their intended victims might be packing heat. A survey about 20 years ago where criminals, many of them still behind bars, asking what they thought about gun control. The 90 percentile numbers showed them to be in favor of gun controls. Take the guns from all the people, they said. Their explanations to a bunch of stunned pollsters, young people who were hired to go out there and ask these questions. It did not matter to them, they said. It would be good that their intended victims did not have guns. and that it would not matter to them because, they didn't obey any laws anyway. Crooks don't obey laws. That's the reason they're called crooks. They're lawbreakers. In Kinston, about 2 weeks ago, police responded to a call of a man who was gotten shot. Turned out that 37-year-old Jamel Howard, he got shot in the leg. Turns out that the gunman shot Howard while Howard was trying to rob him. Police said it was a clear case of self-defense. Only one of the two gentlemen went to jail. Guess who? After spending a couple days in the hospital. He's there under $40,000 bond. $40,000 bond for robbery with a dangerous weapon or armed robbery or whatever they charged him with. I'm betting he still favors strict gun controls. Crooks and Democrats, anti-gunners together. Interesting observation, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Criminals feel the same way the Democrats feel. Take all the guns away from all of the people out there. We don't care because we're not going to abide by your laws anyway. Somebody needs to get their hands out of their backsides.
Yeah.
With child pornography such a hot topic, with arrests happening in virtually every city in this country, I would expect that any men and women would give some second thoughts, some serious second thoughts to intentionally downloading that kind of material. I'm not talking about pornography. I'm talking about kiddie porn, child pornography. The First Amendment protects a lot of stuff. One thing where there is no question about the legality is child porn. But for some reason that I cannot understand to this day, there are actually grown adults, professional people from all walks of life, young adults to old fools who partake of child porn. That's sick, number one. And that's the unprofessional opinion of someone who has dealt with the adult perversions. If that's what you like and you're of age and all participants are willing and of age, that's up to y'all. There's enough available in those arenas to keep everyone happy, you would think. So answer me this, folks. Why would an adult need or want to stoop to such a low level? Well, let's go to the beautiful Outer Banks of North Carolina. One Kitty Hawk resident, a man, has been nailed on several child porn charges after a months-long investigation by multiple agencies. 43-year-old Cheryl Ward Jr. arrested Saturday after the FBI knocked on his door with a warrant in their hands. He's charged with 10 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. But wait, there's more. He had outstanding warrants in Minnesota. Go figure. As the investigation continues, Ward is cooling his heels in the Dare County Detention Center. $900,000 and you can free him. Investigators hint that additional charges could be forthcoming. Perverts, there's plenty of legal porn for your viewing pleasure. Okay? I'm not going to call you a pervert. Shouldn't do that. For you people who need, want, desire, the First Amendment will protect you, and that as long as everybody is legal age and you don't go playing stupid. From old enough teenagers to grandmothers, there's enough to go around. If you can't find something that will keep you happy, two things to consider. Life, being listed as a sexual predator, your name, your photo, your address, listed for all to see at any time, free of charge on the internet, because that's what they do with convicted predators. Then there's life in a prison where you might become the object of big, bad, and ugly sexual predators yourself. In all seriousness, if you have that problem, you have strong desires towards children, admit it. It's a problem. It is a serious problem. You need professional help. There may or may not be a cure, but you need to learn to control yourself before there is no return. I'll leave counseling to the pros. I don't get paid for it. I don't know enough about it. I'm just going to give you the facts of the real world that you're facing from somebody who used to put dirt bags in jail.
It's
sad. It's sick. It's
sick.
perverted.
Yep.
There is no reason that you can come up with to want to look at child porn, kiddie porn.
somewhere in central North Carolina. I believe it was central North Carolina, and they arrested a man because he was at a park and had his camera positioned in a way that it was taking inappropriate pictures. They caught him because the lady said, "Yeah, I thought something was kind of weird because I mentioned to the man, I'm getting ready to step on your camera." And he goes, "Well, no, this is the perfect position for it." And that kind of gave her the signal that something's wrong here. You know,
Folks, there are things that you can do with your camera that are on the border of being illegal. When you're dealing with children, under any condition, there is not a police officer with a nightstick that's going to feel any pain for you when you get hurt. He may turn around and walk away and leave you in the hands of the mamas who are present in the park. I'm sorry, vicious moms can really be bad or good.
Yeah, Lady Blue over here.
Oh, God, yes. Granddaughter messing with granddaughter. Oh, Lord God, help them. Because you ain't going to be around to help them.
I know.
I tell you what.
You be at the movie watching
No.
Nicholas Sparks movie.
No. I don't like you, Nicholas Sparks. Not anymore.
I'm going to call him and get him on the
She-
air one more
Quit
day.
buying your
Talk to him.
books.
Well, she might put John's book down and call John because John would take care of it.
Oh, he sent Agent 36 to handle it.
Yeah. I just, it is sick. It's sick. Bottom line, it's sick.
It's
sick.
extremely disgustingly sick. Adults can do what they want to do with adults, period. As long as it's not trafficking, don't get me wrong, that's illegal too.
Yeah.
As long as, if you participate in it as a participant, as an adult, with an adult who is human trafficking, you're going to be arrested. Okay? You're going to be arrested for it.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. No excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse for violating the laws.
Did you watch the video I sent you last night?
It.
At the Kinston police officer?
Yeah. You know why?
Without actually being there, see, from what I
Yeah.
saw, it looked like he was doing his job.
If the guy was he
saying.
fighting him or just fighting?
He was resisting arrest.
I know he was fighting. He had him on the ground.
The officer went to answer a breaking and entering and larceny charge. This subject that you see in the video, the only part of the video that you see, which was taken by lots of people standing around, was the officer on top of the individual, and you could see him punching. But from what I know and have seen and understood, the punches that you are trained to use are like a certain way, and it's like between the shoulders to get you to relinquish. And that's what it appeared
It's
to me.
wherever I can hit him to take him to turn,
And
get
the
him to turn loose of
officer
me.
was by himself, and the crowd kept coming up and yelling at the officer
Yep.
and getting very close. So not only is he fighting this subject, he's got to worry about this crowd jumping him
Yeah.
too.
And now they went to city council last night. I do not know the results of their
They're-
meeting last night.
No, I don't either.
They
but
want to
they're asking-
defund the police, take
And
all the money away from
Kinston?
the police.
Yeah.
And Kinston, good
Good
luck.
luck with
Well,
that.
you know, the lady that's wanting to do that, that's spearheading it,
Call
is
her
the
later.
lady who took the video.
Sure.
If you listen to the video, you can hear the police officer saying,
Yeah.
let go, let go,
Right.
let go.
Yes.
So he's obviously, besides resisting arrest, he's doing something. And what
Yes.
really got me was then he started shaking. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it the George Floyd thing. I mean, it is. First,
Well-
everyone that's getting arrested now is calling for their mama.
At that time that you're talking about, another officer showed up
Mhm.
and was trying to help the first officer, and he got off of the guy, and they were trying to cuff him, and then the guy started shaking. Now, whether that he could have been on drugs. It could have been a result of that.
Could have been that. Could PCP will do it.
He could have been having a seizure. We don't know, but
He's still got to be contained, controlled.
that's
He's
right.
breaking and entering because it was a crime in progress, and that's what he responded to.
And I guarantee you, because the
Now,
video does not show
I
it.
did not look at it enough to find out. Did they give a name of this dude that was arrested?
Let me go back and look at.
Tomorrow I will have that run for you.
Yeah.
I did not bother last night. I was occupied with my Chinese friends.
Yeah, you did something to my computer
I
because
was.
my computer keeps shutting off.
Biophone.
You did something
the
to my
radio.
computer. Oh yeah.
I love those little radios.
Well, get yours working
Get-
good so you can
go
fix
ahead.
mine. 18-year-old
I saw
Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams, 18 years of age.
Yeah, I'll talk for a minute.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that would, but it's just like people take videos. You don't get the full story. You don't get all of the video. And the officer was really in, like I said, he's fighting that guy. And like you said, the officers just saying, let go, let go, let
Yeah.
go. So was the guy trying to grab his gun, or was there something
That's
going
always
on?
that's a major fear.
And then he's got this crowd approaching and he's yelling, get back. And he's trying to reach for his
Williams.
taser. William
Williams' last
Cameron. Cameron Williams.
Well, and the lady, there's not really an update other than the presentation that the lady did. It was a 12-page PowerPoint. And what she wants to do is take away a certain amount of money, a certain millions of dollars, and put it for community to better in the community, which I'm all about, better in the community.
Yes.
Quit breaking and entering.
What do you think the police do every day?
They're bettering the community. It's right there. Protect and serve.
Keeping the animals off the streets and keeping them away from me. That's the whole point. The bad people out there, we do not want the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
How hard
Well,
is
here you
that to
got a
understand?
Community activists from Goldsboro that got involved at the meeting. So people start coming in from
Bless your
everywhere.
heart.
They weren't there. They don't know exactly what happened. And that's what gets me. He said, there is a culture of disregard for the health, the wealth, and the well-being of the Black community in Kinston, North Carolina.
Cameron has nothing on his record since in North Carolina since he turned 18, but he just turned 18.
Right.
And now he does.
Well, now he will, but we don't know what is on his juvenile record either because it's not available.
Oh, now they're saying that the young man was unconscious, just about unconscious, and they're still punching him.
So there was a medical person on the scene? Oh, okay.
Not in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, how they knows about unconscious, just about unconscious. Great. Subjective.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to go. We will see you tomorrow.
So
Get your facts straight before you call.
Yes.
If you honestly don't know whether it's facts or not, ask us. We'll tell you. We'll look it up for you. You can look it up, but we have other resources, and we will be glad to look it up for you as we go along. Okay?
and continue to call in and be a part of the show.
Yeah, buddy. And I'll go into the Biofing radio again tomorrow.
Message to Nicholas Sparks. Don't worry,
Stop.
Lee is not coming to your house today.
I've already called him. Told him
Okay.
it's safe. That we've got. We now have a tracking device on her
Now,
car.
unless you want to write me a nice story and maybe throw a page in there on me in there, so I might be your fan again.
So what you're saying now? You're trying to blackmail him?
I'm not blackmailing. I'm just like, it's you value your friends and fans. You'll listen to
Sounds
them.
like a blackmail thing to me, doesn't it? To you? Okay.
I'm done with you, Nicholas.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Have a blessed day.
Lee and Nicholas will be on the air with us. You're live and local Real Talk. Chris, thank you for being in here again. And Kelly, we're wishing her the best. Hopefully, I haven't talked to her. I've tried to stay out of her mess.
We
Send her
text back and forth. At
Send her a
night.
couple of messages.
She
but
sends me stories. I send her stories.
I'm trying to stay away from jokes for her. I think that my jokes have made her sick. How do you like that? Those pictures from 1980. You know what all that stuff is on the back of that boat?
Oh, the back of the boat.
Yeah.
Those
Those are 50-pound bales of marijuana.
Oh,
There were 16 tons, of roughly
Boy, that
16
caught
tons
his
on that
attention.
boat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's the way we used to do drug raids.
Yeah.
Live and local, real talk. We're always awake, never woke. See you in the morning, y'all. Bye.